Welcome back to Car Models Craft, where today we're embarking on a mission to resurrect a toy car. Now, this isn't just any toy car. It's a miniature model of the iconic Ford Escape, a compact SUV. It's been through its fair share of adventures, but unfortunately, it's missing a wheel. Now, what better way to breathe new life into it than by giving it a well-deserved makeover and turning it into a special gift, which you will see at the end of video. After removing the wheel from the car, we can now begin creating the casing for our mold. We will use Lego bricks to build the casing around the wheel, creating a mold of perfect size. By building a casing with Lego, I can customize it to fit my part perfectly. Plus, it's easy to take apart once the mold is done, making it simple to remove my part. This will be a gift for my cousin's sister who owns a real car like this. I'm sure she will be very happy. Now that we have the casing ready, we need to seal the holes in the wheel. This is done to ensure that the mold fits together properly and to provide a base for the wheel to stand on during the pouring of our gel. I'm using modeling clay to fill these holes. I need to make sure that the modeling clay adheres well to the parts and there are no gaps. We don't want any leaks after pouring the gel. Now we will create a base for the wheel to rest on. Now that we've created a tight base with modeling clay, we can place the wheel inside the casing and begin preparing our material for molding. When pouring our gel, it's beneficial for the mold to be thick as it makes it easier to extract the copied part. So I need to add some more bricks to make the casing taller. Let me start by introducing what I'll be using as molds. Today we won't be using silicone but a special gel. ProGel is a reversible duplicating material based on agar-agar. It needs to be heated to a temperature of around 90 degrees Celsius and then allowed to cool down to approximately 45 degrees Celsius. We cool down the gel to prevent burning ourselves. Now it's ready to use. Putting it in the fridge speeds up the cooling process and returning to its solid state of matter. I'm disassembling the casing made of bricks. I need to flip the mold upside down to pour the second part of our mold. After cleaning the parts from the modeling clay, we now have a ready mold for pouring the second part of our gel. As you can see, the gel should be heated a bit more to make it thinner, which makes it easier to use. But fortunately, everything worked out just as it should. To create the part, I'll be using epoxy resin. I need to mix 2 parts together, the resin and the hardener, in equal weight proportions, 50-50. After mixing the 2 parts, a chemical reaction occurs, and the resin starts to work and harden within a few minutes. We need to use the same weight for both components. I use a small jeweler's scale for weighing. A lighter helps to eliminate air bubbles formed during the mixing reaction of resin and hardener. I've noticed that if there's too much hardener compared to resin, then more air bubbles are created, which can be difficult to remove. I always leave this part to cure for a few hours. Sometimes, it's necessary to make several parts to get it just right. It all depends on how well we mix our epoxy resin, ensuring there are no air bubbles in it. This part turned out well. Now we can try fitting our copied wheel to see if it fits well. Now we can move on to painting. First, I use spray primer. I apply several light coats to avoid applying too much paint at once, which could obscure the details on the wheel. As you can see, the wheel isn't perfectly made. It has some slight imperfections and holes, but they're on the inner side, so they won't be very noticeable. We don't need to worry about them. Before applying the paint, I let it dry for some time, around 15 minutes. I'll be using matte black paint for the tire now, and then I'll paint the center of the wheel with metallic paint, just like the rest of the wheels on this car model. I prefer using many delicate strokes with the airbrush to ensure the paint is applied evenly. After about an hour of drying, it's time to mask off the rim so I can paint it. This is probably the easiest way to mask off any part for painting. Just use a sharp tool to cut out the desired shape. Thank you all for watching, I really appreciate it. I'm working on more projects where I'll be building my models. This was just a small project I wanted to share. Every feedback from you means a lot to me. Thank you and have a great day.